All right, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is good to be here. It's been a little while. Primarily my fault. I was kind of focusing on trying to get back to 100%, and it's something that I'm working on right now. But hopefully in the next couple months I can be out there on track. I was out at North Florida Car Club this weekend with the boys from Jam Racing, as well as Ron Ryder, who is our guest of the week. We have a very important discussion here. Is a question that keeps coming up over and over. So Jorge actually had the good idea and said, hey, let's just do this on the next podcast. So, and today we're going to talk about 206 versus Tillotson. Okay. Yeah, I think that might be the second time that word has been said on this podcast, but they're like the evil empire anytime that we go to a track anywhere. But Ron has probably just as much experience, if not anybody, racing both classes. He is out there. If you think the two guys, crazy guys over here, race a lot, Ron is at a racetrack almost every weekend, no matter what track it is, whether small track, round track, it doesn't matter. He's there and he's racing, so that's why we have him here this week with us. But a lot of things have changed in the last 3 months, so we haven't posted anything. Jorge, I know that obviously the podcast the vlog is out. What are the changes for you in the last 3 months?
I have gone from TB to MGM. It wasn't a easy decision at all. It took a lot to make this decision. Like I said, it's nothing to do with the brand. It's something that I just needed to do on my own. Maybe a change of pace, learn something new.
It's like moving away from it's like moving out of the house when you turn 18. You just
dude, man, it's like I told Farshad, and I was like, I let down my dad. When you talk to him, I felt because Farshad's been there from the very beginning, guys. Like this guy got us into karting, and he's been there from start to finish. And like I told you, he's big into military. He gives a lot back to the military, the Wounded Warrior program. I know he doesn't like me talking about it, but fuck it, since I left him as a child, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm the rebellious kid, and Miguel is too. He gives back those trade-in programs that we do, or that TB does. You get a chassis discount off. The chassis that we get from you, we resell it to someone coming into the sport. That money that we get, doesn't matter how much it is, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200 bucks, does not go to Farshad at all. Farshad sent it off to the Wounded Warrior program in St. Augustine. So he doesn't even make any money off of it. He's basically breaking even on the chassis to get people into sport and then giving back to the Wounded Warrior program. So leaving him was huge. I talked to him about it. He said it's probably the best decision for me to move on and try something else. He's my biggest supporter. People are saying like he's taking it rough or anything. He's not. So super happy. It's me. Yeah. I'm super happy with the chassis. Super happy with the new MGM. Thanks, Paul and April Rice. Super freaking pumped. I can't wait to try in Orlando. 103rd. I know I missed the setup a little bit. I missed the gearing as well. And I didn't know how the hell to drive.
So talking a little bit about that, 103rd, I again, talk about new things. I had the pleasure of finally visiting the track. We've talked it up a lot on the podcast here of how great of a job they're doing from me standing, 2 hours away. And this weekend they had a great night race, which was absolutely phenomenal. Great schedule. They kept on to point, and I got to go out there and watch them race. And watch the way that they do things. And let me tell you guys, if you were racing 5-6 years ago and you were going to Ocala and Ocala felt like home, it feels the same. Feels the same when you get there.
Spin it around,
very comfortable, and do such a great job. I reached out to them. They wanted to make sure to let everybody know. Thank you for those of you that went out there the race this weekend, and thank you for the families, right? And families that go out just to watch this race, because it's not easy. It's not easy to sit there all day in the heat from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night to just watch somebody race that you're not, if you're just sitting there and chilling. But now that we're past that, what we're here, why you're here, why you're still watching, 206 versus Tillotson, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give, we can talk about 206 for hours, but we're going to give Ron here. We're going to give him the time. But before we do that, Ron, a little bit of your racing background. I feel like you have a rich racing history that a lot of people don't know. What's your background in racing?
Everyone in my family is oval track drivers going back 4 generations. My great grandfather, my grandfather, my uncles, all my dad. Everybody raced cars. My uncle Richard raced go karts from about 1980 until about 1990, and in the meantime, he raced pro and super late models, outlaw late models. But he always said karting was the funnest thing that he ever done. So naturally, I was drawn into getting into karting because of how much fun and how pure of a sport it is. And it's just a great sport. My dad's side of the family actually has some drivers that are in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Some of his uncles, they go all the way back to the 1940s, racing. And it's just something I've always been passionate about, very, very passionate about. I like when I was a kid, believe it or not, open wheel racing was my favorite. I was into Indy cars.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Foyt, Alan Jr., people like that were my heroes.
So wow, that's history. That's really racing history. So let's get into Tillotson. So we're gonna talk some basics, right? So what's the we all race 206, 6100. We live on that 6100 RPM life. How does that differ to the Tillotson when we talk about RPM?
The Tillotson has slightly more RPM. What I notice about it the most is it has a very good torque curve. A lot of fun. Really, really nice response. As far as the whole Tillotson versus 206 thing, I think there's room for both classes. Unfortunately, with 206 having manufacturing problems, it's caused a lot of rumors and a lot of stuff, and people hear that stuff, and they go and buy other things because they think that there's no 206s out on the market for sale. That's somewhat true, somewhat not true. They are out there, but this is a Briggs problem, unfortunately. Hopefully they will do something to resolve this problem because 206 racing is huge in America and Canada, and I don't see it slowing down. It's only gotten bigger since I started this a little over 2 years ago, going on 3 years. And there's just I feel like if there was 206 motors on the market, this thing would be like as big as like Little League Baseball because there was that many people interested in getting into 206 racing. And I would like to see both classes survive. Tillotson is a blast to drive, fun, but in my opinion, there is always room for 2 motors in karting. They
Okay.
both offer two complete types of motors, and it leads to 2 different types of racing.
So what do you think it's the main racing in the racing though between a 206 and the Tillotson? Is it a corner exit? Is it just the top end speed? What are those things that differ the most?
Mostly, I noticed the bottom end on the motor. The bottom end is just really awesome. Of course, obviously it is faster, but a lot of that is because of the bottom end. And it really gets you around the corners. And when you get back into the gas, it's pretty instant. Compared to a 206, there is a big difference, definitely.
Now,
Um,
sorry. And as far as tunability, so obviously in the 206 game, probably about 3 years ago, you could literally take a motor out of the box, take it to a track, have a decent event, and be semi-competitive. I feel like now the 206 sport has grown so much, you definitely need to have an engine that's broken in. You definitely need to have a little bit of maybe say tunability that's been done to the motor. How is it in the Tillotson world when it comes to that?
the Tillotsons, the ones that I have are box stock. Nothing's been done to them. I will say I have found that because I've had four Tillotson motors now. In my opinion, there is a big difference from motor to motor. Some of them do seem to be, a tenth or two better than the others, to where a 206, if you take 3 motors, in my opinion, they're all going to be about the same. You're not going to notice a difference at all. Even as far as like a built motor and a box motor on 206, if you take a box 206 motor and break it in properly and tune it right from the very first time, there's no reason why you can't win on a box motor. I've set purple, my brother set purple on box motors, and we have very, very strong engines that we've had engine builders, and they are phenomenal engines. But if you break a 206 in properly, it is a good motor.
Okay. And what is that proper, maybe don't have to give all the secrets away, or maybe you can. What is the proper kind of braking procedure that you recommend on a 206?
breaking it in similar to what you would a RC car motor on an RC car, to where you just do it in little steps at a time, 2 minutes at a time, 25% throttle on the bench, run it for about 3 minutes, shut it off, let it sit for 30 minutes, crank it back up, do the same thing over again, drain the oil, go back out on the track and do about the same thing, but with the motor on the ground and on the track this time. And do that once, drain the motor, and then go out there and give it a real hard go, and let it cool down and properly in between. And I've had several motors I've done that to, and they were just phenomenal motors. They have 40 plus hours on them, and they're still going strong.
Okay. And who's your current engine builder in 206?
Definitely AEM.
Okay.
Yep.
Mick, good old
He
Mick.
said definitely AM.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that one was that one was for Mick.
Nothing but first class. When it comes to service, I could text them at 3 a.m. and I get a response, and the next morning, and they lead me in the right direction every step of the way.
No, it's awesome. And for Tillotson, is there somebody out there already redoing the motors if there's a head gasket issue or anything like that, or that market hasn't gotten there quite yet?
Mick and them do stuff to motors. They to the Tillotsons, as far as I know. Bren from Anderson's, he's probably the man to talk to. I mean, he helped. He tested that motor more than anybody. And I don't even know if he's travels so much. I don't even know how available he is. But he's a top-notch engine builder.
All right. Now, something that Tillotson did when they entered the market, not only did they do money races, but they offered a Tillotson chassis and a Tillotson engine together. Is that the power package that everybody desires, or can you still use your 206 chassis that you may have now and then just swap motors? Is that something that's doable if you want to race different classes, or do you have to have that Tillotson specific chassis?
No, you do not. You do not have to have the Tillotson chassis. It's open to any chassis on the club level, and on the SSKC series, it's open chassis rule. The Tillotson chassis, from everyone I've talked to, works extremely well. I've heard nothing but good things about that chassis, and I know a guy that chooses to use one, and I've watched him beat all of us on the track with his bone stock motor and bone stock chassis.
Okay.
Who's
Wow.
that?
Yeah. Who's that?
What's that?
Who is that beat that runs?
Logan LePace earlier this season, or in last season, when he was running, he had a bone stock chassis with a bone stock motor, and he is a new driver, actually, very very few hours behind the cart, and he dominated that class. And yeah, he actually beat our buddy Neil in one of the best races that I've seen.
Yeah. So chassis the same, so you can go back and forth. So you can have one chassis and two motors. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Engine mount.
Yeah. Engine mount. I use the Odenthal by choice.
Okay.
Same engine mount on both motors. I can do an engine swap in less than 10 minutes. I've actually raced my 206 and then swapped the motors for the Tillotson class in the middle of the day.
And then when it comes to tuning, what kind of differences have you had to do when tuning the chassis? Are they similar, or are you, because of the power, are you adding maybe more grip to the front of the cart? Like what kind of changes when you go through these, okay, I'm going to go race Tillotson today. Do you tighten up the cart a little bit too because of the extra power?
I feel like you have to stay ahead of the track a lot more. With the Tillotson, we've never even made adjustments. Even when Mick drove the cart for us, when Eduardo drove the cart for us, when I've been on it, we've never even made adjustments throughout the day. Now on a 206, I feel like you nothing but adjustments all day long to stay ahead of the track.
Okay. So, and here's a tough question though. If you just had a race, if they said, all right, this year you're only going to get to race one class, which class would it be?
Definitely 206 for sure.
Okay. And why would that be?
It's a brotherhood. It's a family. And the people are just great. Best people I've ever been around, hands down.
So and that's a true statement. I think 206 it can change you, right? I can truly say, especially with the Ruiz brothers. I mean, I decided to get into karting without knowing them first, and then I ended up in a 206, and I mean, we hit it off from that first race that I met the guys over in Ocala. When I go to the track it's a family thing. I look forward to seeing you, seeing them, even seeing some of those other guys in certain chassis that we say we don't like them, but at the end of the day, it is nice to see those guys. So Miguel, yeah, Miguel, what is that feeling that you get when you go racing when you first get to the track? Like what is that feeling that you get normally?
When I get there,
Yeah.
now,
Yep.
love, hate, they don't want to follow us no more. They don't like our opinion. I'm just kidding. I like it, it's a good feeling. A lot of people come up and hang out and stuff like that, so it's good. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinions. So, but no, other than that, I don't think I've ever had one person come up to us and literally be like, "We hate you." So,
I mean,
I love it. I like it, especially like you said in Jacksonville. Now it's great. I mean, Jorge and I haven't seen Dan Pinkson since Ocala closed down, and he was out there, racing again. So it was good seeing him again and stuff like that. So and everybody we basically raced with in Ocala is basically back in Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, definitely. Jax, man, they got their program like right now. We raced 37 in Masters the other day. Heavy was the heaviest the other day. They had over 100 entries total, but 96 were 206s. Ron, what have you seen reliability wise on the Tillotson so far? What have you seen like reliability on like the good and the bad? Like, so what's something you've been seeing that, hey, if I get a Tillotson, watch out for this. Like, you need to watch out for like 206s. Watch out for the head gasket at times. There's some head gaskets that blow. Watch for the exhaust header loosening up. What are some things you have been seeing lately?
So far, nothing at all. They are a little finicky to get started. There's a little
I've seen
starting
that.
procedure. If you get it down right, it's very easy. But without that starting procedure, you almost want to throw it away sometimes. Yeah. But once you learn the little secret, it is extremely easy.
Didn't they change the carburetor? They used to have like a real, like almost like a weed eater carburetor.
They did, and then they changed the intake as well.
And then now they have like a 206 carburetor on them.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw they did change carburetors. Like, God bless.
Now,
they were having so much issue.
Did they force everybody to change to the new one, or you could still run the old one since the change?
That's a good question.
I believe now it's just the new one.
Okay, so if you have a motor with the old one, do you get a credit or anything of replacing them, or no? It's tough shit buying new one.
I think it's just intake and
those early ones, they only had a handful of people using them, and they were mostly people testing for them.
Okay.
And then I don't believe I think that was an issue they fixed before they started mass selling them.
Okay.
I got a question, Ron. Are you good with the importer of Tillotson?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard a rumor they're making a 206 type for Tillotson. Is that true?
A what?
A 206, almost like a 206 for Tillotson. They run side by side with 206s. Is that true?
I do not know. I would not doubt that that's true though. I do know that they made a cadet motor. It's a 190cc, I believe.
Oh yeah, I saw that
something like that. And from what I hear, it runs the same speed as the Micro Swift. And it's just a tad bit slower than a mini Swift, the next age group up. And I mean just a tad.
That's moving.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Now I do know that they were trying to come up with a slower motor for the club series, like in another state. I think some people had tested the motors out, and maybe for whatever reason they wanted something a little bit slower. I don't know what they did about that issue.
So, and why would you think they may? Yeah, I mean, I guess who knows? Maybe smaller tracks, or maybe long tracks, making sure guys don't get up there in the 70s, 60, 70 miles an hour and a 30, who knows? I have no idea why you would want to do that, but
yeah, me neither.
I'm sure safety regulations.
I'd say we throw in the Ghost motor from Harbor Freight, $300.
I think a lot of the rumors of the big rumor of no 206s out there is really maybe causing people to try to think other routes and stuff. Maybe
Let's go Ghost.
Yeah, so
Harbor Freight.
Stop with the Ghost crap. So basically, what they're saying like the production wise is not going to be there, but I talked to the Briggs and Stratton, and they're going to be pumping production pretty good. So
there's
motors out there if you know who to talk to.
Yes,
Why?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's AKS. They're a distributor. They distribute motors for Briggs and Alex Kart Sports or something along those
Yeah.
lines. And I believe that he supplies other dealers with 206 motors, if I'm not mistaken.
So what's
Yeah.
the
I'll
issue
tell
that
you what,
Briggs is having? Like what for those people that don't know and are trying to get
the
into the
big
sport?
people, like the people that are, they're, oh God, how can I say
There's
this?
none on the shelf. There is none on the shelf for people to buy.
Performance groups out there of 206 World will find out that, like Comet cart sales was selling out because Gary Lawson's gone. So a pallet was there and a pallet's gone in 2 days. The only people that can do that is a big team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they'll go
I could
all
sell
built.
2 used LO206 carts a week if I had motors to put on them. Unfortunately, when I tell people I don't have motors, they end up going and buying a brand new Tillotson or something else. Like I said, there's so many people trying to get into 206 racing. It's not even funny.
I know somebody who's got 13 of them already built by someone down in Ocala.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh,
He's always advertising it.
Yeah. John got plenty of motors. Precision Card. If you
Oh.
want a motor, hit up John, baby.
Don't say his name. You're gonna hurt his feelings.
No,
He's helping him out. He's helping him out. So John Precision Karting,
Oh,
he has the fast
sponsors
motors.
Kart Chaser. Don't talk about that.
Hey, he's a 206 guy. We're a happy family.
Yeah, we love John, man. We
John
give him shit. We give him
John
shit in the
Sigmund has
Coyote
always
family.
been very good to us. He's a good guy.
The first big block 206 I've ever seen.
454, baby.
Hey, if you swap the numbers around, it'd be 602.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like that current that current thing that TikTok is like, you don't know about chop, and all of a sudden that motor comes up, is like chop. That's what that
you
motor
don't know shit about chop. You don't talk about chop.
Yeah. So oh man. Well, Ronnie,
So have any of you been on a Tillotson yet?
I have not.
No, okay. Yeah, they are really fun to drive.
The big
they seem like
they have good power. It's really fun. Good. I mean, usable motor. I mean, to me, it's just. I just don't want. What I'm scared of, right? I like the numbers of the club races now, right? So I like the club races, like club event. What I don't like is them pushing. Someone comes in, what should you get? Oh, get a Tillotson, get a Tillotson. I don't want people to be like deterrent. I want people to come. Okay, start with 206 maybe. If you get quicker, I think Tillotson's the next stage between the 100 cc's.
Definitely.
I think it's the way. So I'm not all right. Everybody thinks 206 all the way. We're haters, blah blah. No. Don't get me wrong. I just like all the numbers to be big. Once we get a good established club level number of 20 plus, if you want to get a Tillotson in the area, grab a Tillotson. Let's get the numbers up 10, 15, 20, right? Then we get 20 across the board. These 4-strokes are coming up. I think Tillotson's the perfect medium between. It's way less expensive to run a 100, right? Almost the same speed. Just get a Tillotson. All right, don't go crazy. But if you go like 206 and everybody goes nuts, I'm like, oh, let's get a 206. There's no 206s. They jump ship. Now we have 10 classes across the board, 10 people apiece. I don't want to race against that crap.
Yeah, 3/4 of the field at Anderson's in Orlando, from what I've seen, are actually X30 drivers, and every one of them I've talked to told me they have a blast running that Tillotson.
Oh yeah, they do.
Which is very surprising because of the difference, obviously in speed. And from what I hear, they all love it. Like they're actually all choosing to run in it now.
It's close racing. That's why everybody goes to
fast
4
racing.
That's why I feel like there's room for both classes, most definitely. I just wish that maybe Briggs could step up the production and get caught up to where when you walk in a store, you might see both motors on the shelf.
And what's the price difference between the two? So now we talk performance. How about money? What's the price difference?
A lot. I mean, 206 are a lot more expensive.
From what I've seen, 206s can be a little more expensive, possibly.
$1,300.
The Tillotsons are a very reasonably priced motor.
And Tillotson is a non-American motor. Tillotson is an Italian motor.
And I do not know about that. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
I don't
Yeah, I'm
want to
not
misspeak.
sure.
I think it's Ireland, to be honest.
Ireland,
I think
okay.
it's Ireland.
Okay.
To me, it's China. Nah, I'm just giving you guys shit. Only Chinese shit made is Margay.
Go.
Oh.
Margay doesn't talk to me. Screw them, man.
Who?
Yeah, Ghost. Margay. Margay doesn't like me because I keep calling their shit Chinese. At least they watch the podcast and the vlog.
Is it Chinese?
To me, it is.
Okay.
No, they're made
It's the
in
only-
St. Louis.
Yeah, I know. It's an American-made chassis, but they act like Chinese people. It's like end discussion now. End.
And
Yeah,
well,
I'm
on
just
that
joking,
note,
guys.
on that note, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
wait, one last question. So a box stock 206 would cost us anywhere between $850 and $930. What's a Tillotson box stock?
From what I heard, $799.
That's
comes
with
with a
pipe,
motor mount,
everything.
That comes
Pipe,
with
everything.
everything but clutch. It even comes with a timer on it that tells you how many hours you put on the motor.
It comes with a motor mount
what
too, don't it?
clutch? What clutch do you guys run?
Yeah. As far as gearing and clutch, same exact thing as 206 from what I found. You can actually run same identical gear.
Oh wow.
Damn.
That's good to know.
Yep.
So
They seem to work very well in the same power band.
now I do have a question that some we weren't going to cover, but you mentioned something before we came on the air. You were at Anderson today checking it out. So what are the upgrades that they've done? How does the track look? Tell us a little bit.
It's looking good, really good. The track looks super smooth. You could tell it's got some good aggregate down in the bottom of it, but it's super nice and smooth on top. Definitely wider. You can visually see the banking in the turns to keep the water from puddling up. So they did a good job. You can just visually see it. Nothing that's hectic or crazy. Even though I wish they would have. For me, it would have been awesome if 1 and 2 was fully banked and people wouldn't run off the end of the track anymore. But unfortunately, they didn't think about that.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, it would have been.
You just
awesome.
send them off like a ramp now.
Yeah.
Just don't be on my outside. And if that MGM is pushing, be ready to go fishing.
Yeah. Oh, nobody
I made that up in the last section.
there. Nobody even think about it.
So I mean, that might mess up a little tuning aspect. You might be able to carry more speed with the bank turn.
I don't
even
know if
to
they
the degree.
plan on using it for the carts, but they did put in a new section that excludes the hairpin and the turn back. And it's round and smooth, and you would come down the back straight full speed, and you would go into that turn full speed. There basically would be no slowdown at all.
Dude, that'd be kind of cool. Just a Red Bull ring type deal. Send it one race. Yeah, send
If
it one race.
they did the infield and then added that, there would still be plenty of curves and plenty of twists because you would come out of the turn and have to kick back to the right.
Yeah.
That would be a slowdown point. But if they ran the back straight going into that, X30 speeds would be insane on that track.
So
I wonder. I'm pretty sure. We think price is going to go up for locals.
I'm sure.
$200.
That's like we got to pay for this asphalt, baby. Ain't going to pay itself.
If they want to get rid of us 206 guys, that'd be a good start.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true. Jack up the prices. Hey,
they'll get us all out of there in one shot.
Yep.
$45 $45 to run a local in Jack's if you're a member, $55 if you're not a member. 45 and 55. There's a reason why we went back to Jack's. Look, I even have the Jack shirt on.
They're really nice. Those are really nice shirts. I should have
literally $50 cheaper to run in Jacksonville, and it's great because it's 15 minutes away from me. So that's even a plus.
You can win $500.
I'll travel 4 hours to race at Jacksonville any day.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely. Yeah,
so
definitely
before we log off here, on you do have a brother that races as well. Jared.
Yeah.
Who's faster?
That's
Jeremy.
debatable. He's come a long way. He was my mechanic. He was my mechanic for the first year and a half.
I need an answer. That's debatable. Is not suitable. Who is faster?
Well, I think Jeremy's a better. Jeremy's a better tuner because he doesn't know what the hell the cart's doing. If he even said himself, I came up there. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. Like I don't know what's loose tight. But Jeremy's a stupid tuner, like super smart tuner. And when he gets off the track, he would take tire temps. So this is all right. I'm gonna give away some secrets. Fuck you guys. When he came off track, right? When we come off track,
Anderson.
he was shooting. Yeah, Anderson. He was shooting tire temps.
I looked
Like,
at Jorge.
tire
I looked. I was like, "What the hell are they doing?"
I know. He's like, tire temps need to be at around, I don't remember the range. MG tires want to be at this range. So he puts the tire pressure for the tire temps to be in that range. That's how he sets it up. So he's an amazing tuner. If his driving would just match his tuning, he'll be quick. He shows speed, but then he loses his head that time.
Yeah,
No,
he's a better tuner for other people than himself because he doesn't have maybe the natural feel. But
Yeah, exactly.
but with his eyeballs, he can watch any card out on the track and say what needs to be done. He
And
can
that,
see it.
and
But
that
for
is
whatever
true.
reason, he can't feel it. And I have a natural feel for it. I can come off the track and tell you exactly what I need to have a winning card. And I'll
Yeah.
tell him to walk away, and when I come back, it's ready. And he's my bro.
Literally.
Yeah.
I wish Miguel was like that.
No, these guys just fight.
Go fuck yourself.
Although I will say, for the first time in years, probably 2.5 or 3 years, we were at the track, and these two did not get into it.
Because Hoyer wasn't busy working on his fucking cart the whole goddamn time.
That's true.
He
I didn't do shit. I did
He was actually relaxed.
I know, barely any changes. I flipped the rim on, put some different pills, and sent them motherfuckers.
Oh, he was also going through a relapse there, and then he almost fainted. I remember, like, ooh, I get my check early.
Truck. Get that truck.
Yeah,
Get that truck.
I don't
I
know what
didn't need
happened.
Dermat.
It wasn't that, man. I took a big dump and I was fine. I was just a big poop.
Okay, on that note,
I even helped him
Thanks
and
for
gave him my cool blue towel too.
I know, I was dying.
I was like,
dying.
man, here, I should have just left. I was like, damn, there goes
That
my
was it,
C8
Miguel.
Corvette.
So while we're on the
Under-
subject of brothers, who's the better driver out of Miguel and Jorge? Because I've heard from several people who it is. So what do you guys think?
Ooh.
I have an opinion, and it's gonna break somebody's heart.
Oh, it's gonna break my heart.
So I'm gonna tell, and just because of the
I'm curious
performance
what Ron does.
and where he's been in the last year, especially, and how much he's grown as a driver, especially keeping up with national champions week in and
Oh my
week
God,
out.
here we
I'm
go.
telling you, Miguel Ruiz right now is the faster Ruiz brother. This weekend he showed up at North Florida Car Club, old tires, maybe the second time on the chassis at that track, and he was 2.5, barely 3/10 off the leaders on brand new tires on a new engine. So Miguel, Jorge, we love you, but for right now, Miguel is the faster Ruiz.
That's good. I mean, I have something to race forward towards. I'm happy. Miguel's running up front. He's fast. Definitely stupid happy about it. I'm his biggest cheerleader on the side. I'll cuss like a mother on the sideline, yelling at him for being retarded, for not blocking or not feeling pressure or doing something stupid move. But I'm the biggest cheerleader on the sideline.
But
so
that's different.
I'm super happy.
That's a little different. That's racecraft, right? So that's a different question. So who has the
I
better
think
racecraft?
Miguel
Faster?
Miguel has outright 1 lap speed. He's faster than him. If it became down to qualifying 1 lap down, I think Miguel's quicker. If it became over a 20 lap race, I'm going to be quicker. And I'm almost impossible to pass when I don't want to be passed.
Ron, what do you think?
Ron, what do you think?
What's that?
What do you think?
Oh, that was like, what's that? Is the microphone cut out?
I think Miguel is a smoother driver, very, very smooth, and I enjoy watching him race. And definitely, you have come a long way, bro. You're in there every single race, no matter what cart you're on, no matter what you're doing, you're in there. And Jorge is always capable of being at the front of the pack. He's on or off. I feel like you've been a little more consistent this year, most definitely.
Definitely, I think I'll be more consistent with the chassis for sure. But
yeah,
overall, I think 1 lap outpaced Miguel got me beat.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I feel the same way about racing the Masters class and the light class. It's just the competition is at a different level. It's fun.
Oh yeah,
a lot cleaner driving. I feel like you have to drive 2 different styles for the 2 different weight classes, and Miguel has adopted to the lighter weight classes. He drives more like a traditional light class driver.
Yeah, I feel like in the heavy class, you almost have to drive with a little bit of your elbows out a little bit
You
more.
do. It reminds me of spec racing.
I don't know what it is about us fat old guys that we
oh no,
we either crash or we don't. I mean, it's that's usually the way it is. It's the difference between a win or a podium is the guys in front of you making a mistake because one of them got hot headed and made a mistake just because the person got hot.
Yeah.
So
Bushnell has a 365 class, so maybe me and Jeremy and Miguel and Jorge could jump in the 365 class and finish this debate on the track.
now I will say
I
that
think I will be happy with that. I could do that.
unless your last name is Perkins, because if your last name is Perkins, especially in the heavy class, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You're just smooth. You're not looking left. You're not looking right. You're just kicking ass and taking names and making horse.
That's the thing.
Crap.
That's the thing with you guys too in the heavy. You guys have people that have raced for a long time. You know, like where I'm at in a situation with with Dylan and Colin and Corey Tolles himself and Mick. You know, he's great too. So like, but then you guys go to heavy side. You guys have the Perkins where Jed, senior Jed, goes up after 20 years.
Yep,
I
And
know.
wins at Anderson. You know, like God, I almost makes you want to sell everything.
Yeah,
it doesn't make a difference. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a Dawkins brother out there that's getting around. I've seen him at 3 different tracks here lately.
Is that a real Dawkins brother? Or that's a Dawkins? Nice.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and, he's been hitting it hard. He's at the track every week all over the state of Florida now.
Shit.
I'm the only one that has no
Oh, I thought I did see that CDR chassis. CDR.
Yeah, with the Eagle. No, because I was like, man, that Eagle chassis looks very familiar.
No, Gabe, it's OTK.
No. Do you remember
the one at Jax?
There was an Eagle, but remember there was an Eagle that was made by the Dawkins that came with the 50 mil axle that no one had before with the OTK front end.
Was that it?
That chassis was at the track because
that's my buddy's cart. He's in our tent. We all together. And that's an extremely fast cart. But there was 2 Dawkins guys there on OTKs. One of them is his older brother.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and he's definitely one to watch out for.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this long, this was a great time, Ron. Thank you for being here with us.
No problem.
We should be back next week. Hopefully, back to our normal scheduled programming. And guys, please hit that subscribe button. I know it's hard when you hit the Facebook link when you go to YouTube. It asks you to log in. Please log in. Look up White Knuckle Racing. Look up Jam Racing. Subscribe and follow, guys. We do this for you guys. We do it because we have fun. And we win MGM. Look up MGM. April and Paul Rice with their weekly show. It's really fun. I had a chance of meeting April and Paul this weekend. So MGM chassis. So thank you guys. Anything else, guys, before we go?
All right, catch you guys on track.
The sharp designs, man. I love the gears. I can't wait.
If you want some mini gear, sharp chassis.
Oh, I still have to test those.
Yeah, sharp design.
I need to test them for sure.
You gotta try it, man. Try it.
Yeah,
Hit me up.
I would really like to.
Hey, SSKC to King Orlando will be there on a fast chassis, so I'm calling people. I'm gonna win it. So
hey, I'll be on top of the podium. If you guys want to watch the back end of my card, just come out to SSKC.
I can't wait.
I haven't been testing it out there. God, I need to stop talking shit, man.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share.
Later. Catch you guys on track.